I have as yet seen little of the idolatry of India, and that little, though excessively absurd, is not characterized by atrocity or indecency. There is nothing of the sort to commend. I have not during the last 6 weeks witnessed a single circumstance from which you would have inferred that this was a heathen country. The bulk of the natives here are a colony from the plains below, who have come up hither to wait on the European visitors, and who seem to trouble themselves very little about caste or religion. The Todas, the aboriginal population of these hills, are a very curious race. They had a grand funeral a little while ago. I should have gone if it had not been a council day, but I found afterwards that I had lost nothing. The whole ceremony consisted in sacrificing bullocks to the manes of the defunct. The roaring of the poor victims was horrible. The people stood talking and laughing until a particular signal was made, and immediately all the ladies lifted up their voices and wept. I have not lived 33 years in this world without learning that a bullock roars when he is knocked down, and that a woman can cry whenever she chooses. By all that I can learn, the Catholics are the most respectable portion of the native Christians, and to Schwartz's people in the Tranjore, they are a perfect scandal to the religion which they profess. It would have been thought something little short of blasphemy to say this a year ago, but now it is considered impious to say otherwise, for they have got into a violent quarrel with the missionaries and the bishop. The missionaries refused to recognise the distinctions of caste in the administration of the sacrament, or the Lord's Supper, and the bishop supported them in the refusal. I do not pretend to judge whether this was right or wrong. Schwartz and Bishop Heber conceived that the distinction of caste, however objectionable politically, was still only a distinction of rank, and that, as in English churches, the gentlefolks generally take the sacrament apart from the poor of the parish, so the high caste natives might be allowed to communicate apart from the pariahs. But whoever was first in the wrong, the Christians of Tanjore took care to be most so. They called the interposition of government and set up such positions of memorials as I have never seen before or since, made up of lies, invectives, bragging, cant, bad grammar of the most ludicrous kind, and texts of scripture quoted without the smallest application. I remember one passage by heart which is really only a fair specimen of the whole. These missionaries, my lord, loving only filthy lucre, bid us to eat Lord's Supper with pariahs, as lives hungry, ugly, handling dead men, drinking rack and toddy, sweeping the streets, mean fellows altogether, base persons, contrary what St. Paul saith. I was determined to know nothing among you save Jesus Christ and him crucified. Was there ever a more appropriate quotation? I believe that nobody on either side of the controversy found our text so much to the purpose as one which I cited to the Council of India when we were discussing this business. If this be a question of words and names and of your law, look ye to it, for I will not be the judge of such matters. But though, like Gallio, I drove them in their petitions to my judgment seat, I could not help saying to one of the missionaries who was here on the hills that I thought it a pity to break up the church of Tanjore on account of a matter which such men as Schwartz and Heber had not been inclined to regard as essential. Sir, said the reverend gentleman, the sooner the church of Tanjore is broken up the better. You can form no notion of the worthlessness of the native Christians there. I could not dispute this point with him, but neither could I help thinking, though I was too polite to say so, that it was hardly worth the while of so many good men to come 15,000 miles over sea and land in order to make proselytes, who, their very instructors being judges, were more children of hell than before.